Hello everybody and welcome to this Scorpio Truth reading. So we just had the Scorpio Full Moon yesterday on the 26th of April 2021. And I purposely did not put out a video prior to that because I preferred to work with the energy after. So I want to talk a little bit about Scorpio, and this is something that I might put more videos out about my viewpoint on each of the zodiac signs. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all, we don't even need to put it in buckets. It's just, it is what it is. It's like a wardrobe that we wear. And some of it is more bold and some of it is more demure. And, it's just different parts of who that sign represents, of those parts of us. And so Scorpio is one of the three water signs. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, okay, in the zodiac. So that water element has to do with our emotions as well as our intuition. And Scorpio, to me, goes as deep as they run. I have a crystal that has really significant Scorpio energy. For me, the crystal malachite is all about, that's Scorpio to me. It goes deeper than any other. It is, and it's called auger, like an auger that you would use when you go ice fishing, because this energy, and we all have Scorpio in our chart, but I'm particularly talking to people who have their sun, their moon, or their rising sign as Scorpio. That is what I call really strong Scorpio energy. There are some other characteristics too in a chart that I would say would be strong, but to keep it simple, let's just stick with that. So, and if you don't know what your moon sign is, what your rising sign is, go on to astro.com and you can go on to, there's a little button in the words My Astro, I think. And I believe you do have to sign up. It's a free account. And go into My Astro and then use the steps to build your own natal chart, okay? And you're going to be looking for the symbol of Scorpio, which you can also find online. You can just say glyph, G-L-Y-P-H, to look at what the symbol is for Scorpio if you're not aware. And so these people that have this strong Scorpio energy, like an auger, it's getting down to the truth. At the end of the day, that's what Scorpio wants. But people also with strong Scorpio energy can feel misunderstood. And I often feel like I do not have strong Scorpio energy, though it's in my chart. And my Jupiter is in Scorpio, so it's an expansion source for me. And that's the energy I go to expand myself. And it's a very personalized view because Jupiter in my chart is retrograde. And that means I hold the wisdom inside of myself instead of outside for me to explore. That's just a quick little ditty in terms of astrology. But the thing with Scorpio, I feel like it's a misunderstood sign. And a lot of times Scorpio gets a bad rap as being just super intense, moody. I mean, these are the monikers that get put on Scorpio. So sex and moodiness and, getting really intense and especially emotionally intense. And there's no lightness or brevity or anything like that. But the intensity, that's real for sure with Scorpio. But it is in pursuit of truth is the thing. At the end of the day, that's what I feel. All Scorpio energy is pointing to get to the truth of something. So when you meet somebody who's got strong Scorpio energy, they aren't going to be at their best when they're just doing small talk. They want to get to something that really means something. They want to feel the heart of you. They want to feel like it's your heartbeat that's talking. I love that. That just came through from all of you who are Scorpios out there. helping me to understand Scorpio energy better, you know. They want to actually feel like they're hearing the heartbeat in your words, you know, like this is true. And therefore people with Scorpio can really spot a lie from 100 miles away, never mind 10 paces. I mean, their bullshit meter is pretty accurate. And so that it can be annoying for other people. This is part of what, you know, gives Scorpio sometimes a bad rap, is that they get, you know, they call you on it. Like, well, that isn't true. Or, are you sure that's the way you feel? You know, because what I'm picking up on doesn't match what you just said or what your actions just showed me. So, to me, I mean, it's why it's one of my top signs. I love talking about Scorpio, because of this sort of misunderstanding about their intensity is a gift to this world. The fact that they can sniff out the truth in anything. And in the end, they just want to get to like, well, what does your heart say though? Because remember, water is about emotion, and it's also about intuition. And you can't separate intuition from the heart, because that's the seed of the soul there. So they're one and the same. That's why they've always been categorized together that way, whether it's through the water element or in the tarot, it's the suit of cups. So I just feel this misunderstanding. I think some Scorpios don't mind being misunderstood either, because they see themselves as they are, the truth tellers, you know, wanting to get to the bedrock of what's really going on, and wanting to hold themselves, but also other people accountable for matching up their actions with what they're saying, you know, or the vibe that they're giving off, because Scorpios can definitely read a vibration that you're offering, and they can certainly feel it within themselves. And I would say that Scorpios are probably the most hard on themselves, first and foremost, because again, they want truth. They want that intensity of knowing I am living as my true self. And they will hold themselves accountable to that to the end, okay? So this is what the full moon is all about, is this intensity of truth-seeking, you know? And also, Scorpio will say it like it is, so it's not really a light-hearted kind of a sign. It's much more like direct, and sometimes can get a little fired up. Again, intensity is a key word for Scorpio. But these are gifts, even if they don't feel like it at times, because it's coming to something that is genuine. And I feel like Scorpio people can read energy so thoroughly and accurately. They can sense it. And they get some sort of an uneasy feeling when things aren't matching up. And then they want to go sleuthing. They want to try to figure out, all right, what the heck is going on here? Because I'm calling this out. This isn't right. And I want things to I want it to be in the open. I don't want us to keep shoving it under the carpet. This didn't happen. You didn't see anything. That's not the way that Scorpio lives. You know, and it's this part of us that it is fine with talking about whatever the uncomfortable truth is. No matter how painful, it is the very breakthrough needed for a lot of people. Okay? So the beauty of this full moon that we just had, I pulled a card on this for all of us, and it's the Hanged Man. This is from the Mystical Moments Tarot. The Hanged Man is part of the Major Arcana, and this just shows you how powerful that Scorpio energy is. The Major Arcana, these are major points. They're like shifting points in our life. They're kind of chapter headings, if you will. So not so much about the day-to-day. This is shifter energy, and that's why Scorpio is one of my favorites, because that intensity that Scorpios carry is meant to shift. It's meant to transform things, and that's what the Hanged Man is all about. It turns things on its head. It looks at every angle, and it searches for the truth. It is the auger that just keeps going down, down, down. I'm going to keep going until I find what is the true reason behind this, or the meaning, or the whatever it is. You just have to get to the bottom of it. And that's the Hanged Man, is just looking to find a perspective, and sometimes it is completely opposite of what we've always thought about something, or a value that we've held for a long time. When we turn it on its head, we often get to something that feels much more refreshing and gives us a sense of freedom of our thought, our ability to assign meaning that works for us at that particular moment of our life, and understanding that meaning and values and beliefs, those change over a lifetime. They shift. And so Scorpio is always unafraid to look at whatever it is, wherever you're at, and try to bring clarity. It really wants to bring a sense of clarity, and it doesn't put up with the freaking BS. I mean, this is Scorpio right here. The BS of chaos energy, which is so much of what's going on our planet right now. Woo! It's just chaos, and everybody dividing up into groups, and and oh my God, it just makes me want to barf all of it. It truly, like, I can't. So, but this is the energy of Scorpio. It sees all that as just BS. You know, we need to come to a place where everybody feels settled. I think at the end of the day, Scorpio wants humanity to feel settled. But you have to really dig deep sometimes to make that happen. And the Scorpio people in your life can get you there, as long as that is what they're focused on, is getting to the bottom of it, to get some clarity, to calm things down, to get out of the spiral of the dirt devils that are raging all over this planet right now, and to just come to your own personal truth, and to just stand in that, you know, and to not need. Scorpios don't need to convince anybody of anything. They're fine with it. If you have a conversation and you say, this is where I'm coming from, and this is why, and this is how this plays out for me, they're fine with that, because they will know if you're speaking in alignment with your truth or you're not. They'll be able to sense it immediately. You know, this is what makes these relationships sometimes challenging and intense, but man, so rewarding, because they can call you on it if you're not being real with yourself. They know how to do that. It's a gift. Okay? So, let's see what's coming up, given what I've just talked about. The Sabian symbol for the full moon at the time of its peak yesterday was Scorpio 8, a calm lake bathed in moonlight. And for real, this is what as intense as Scorpio energy can be, I think, because it's a water sign and it's the waters within us, you know, it wants to bring us to a place where we can feel and experience our own transformation. Because in astrology, Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. That is death and rebirth and total transformation. A tiny planet with a ton of transformative energy. And that goes the same for Scorpio. That's why it's so intense, but so worth it. You know, you really value the Scorpios in your life, okay? So I feel like this Sabian symbol points to with all the intensity, with all the wanting to get to the truth, with all the bluntness and, you know, I think an emotional intensity, a focus of going deeper and deeper until you get to the root of something. All of this is in the name of bringing a sense of calm, okay? So that's what the messages are going to speak to. Those of you who chose this card, this is from the Way of the Horse deck by Linda Kohanov, and I'm going to read you the description after let me get the card page up, because she's got beautiful descriptions. This is a great deck that I don't use too often anymore, sadly. It just doesn't come up in my dowsing. I'm getting there. Okay, yeah, nobody does this one better than Scorpio, revealing of the false self, okay? Rigid methods and ideals, obsession with perfection, incongruence. The colorless statue of a well-trained horse contrasts sharply with the soft eyes and fluid frame of the artist's flesh and blood inspiration. The gift is the methods you've learned and the degrees you've earned become even more useful when wielded by a responsive, creative intelligence. And that is intelligence from within you, but inspired by the divine you, okay? The challenge is, when you worship a static image of perfection, your idol will erode or break apart. Avoid the temptation to set ideas and behaviors in stone. So, see, this is why I say, Scorpio can look at this. This is a representation of any given human on this planet. And we've all had times where we wear the clothes, we play the role, we do what's expected according to the role. We play our part, you know, and we're kind of programmed into that from a young age as to this is what's going to earn you my love, this is what's going to earn you my attention. And I swear, Scorpio people, and again, this means people with sun, moon, or rising sign in Scorpio. That's what I call strong Scorpio energy, generally speaking. They probably were some of the ones that kind of got in the face of their parents or authority figures and said, no, that isn't me. I know you want that to be me, but that's not me. Because Scorpio energy, this moon, remember, it's about the revealing that calm lake from that Sabian symbol. Let me read it again to you. A calm lake bathed in moonlight. I mean, this is the symbol for the Scorpio full moon. It is revealing inside who you really are. Scorpio breaks down all this false self bullshit. And there's no other word to use in Scorpio fashion. You call it like it is. It's a bunch of BS. And this is what I think this full moon is really bringing for you, is this idea of, am I just filling a role because I've always been told this is who I am? Or this is what it means to be a fill in the blank. A good worker, a good daughter, a good wife, whatever, a good brother. Whatever those roles are, call upon, use. Everybody has Scorpio in their chart, so you've got it within you. It doesn't have to just be people who have strong Scorpio energy. That full moon was meant to help everybody, and it's to break you into who you really are on some level. And think about this idea of, you know, am I acting from what truly inspires and drives me from within? Or am I doing X, Y, and Z because it's expected, it's part of the role? But then question, if that's the case, question, is that really authentic to me? call the BS on yourself, because these are personal messages. Even though this is a general reading, this is about you. This isn't directed at anybody else. It's about us truly illuminating our own sense of transparency and authenticity in who we are. And you just can't be this kind of brittle figure in concrete that is depicted here that doesn't have any life to it. You know, I think about it like my rug hooking. What makes rug hooking really beautiful are the imperfections of it. And I had to learn that through my instructor and the students that I take classes with over time. And I've been doing it for, I think, a few years now. And at first I was like, oh my God, that's not symmetrical, and my loops all have to be the right height, and you know, I was getting so caught up in the perfectionist nature of who I can be at times. And then but I learned through seeing other people's work and also through direct words from my instructor that, but that's what makes it, it's the foibles are what make it personal, are what make it real, are what make it yours. And it's what makes it interesting, you know? Never mind the fact that most people won't even notice what it is that you're picking up on as the craftsperson. So it's that humanness and the perfection. The thing of it is, if you're always striving to put yourself like a concrete figure that sits on top of a pedestal, you know, like one of those Greek god statues. And I'm not saying this in a self-serving kind of a manner, but it's what we do when things like perfectionism guide us and rule over us, is that we can't ever make a choice outside of what's applicable for that role that we play. The thing is, there's nowhere to go but down when you're up on a pedestal. That's why this says, when you worship a static image of perfection, your idol will erode or break apart. Like, there's just nowhere for this concrete to go but to slowly degrade, to slowly crumble away. Because there's no life, there's no the breathable skin of the real horse depicted in this card. You know, it's those human parts of who we are. And that, yes, we can have an outbreak, we can have a big old cold sore on my lip on any given day. It makes me who I am. You know, it's giving you a sure sign that I must be stressed about something in my life because my lip is showing it. You know, but these are parts of being human. It's that our skin can show a rash or show pimples or show a cold sore or something like that. And then it will heal itself over time because we're always going through something. We're always churning over things in our life. That's what is so incredible about the human skin, is it's literally our biggest breathing organ, you know, taking so much into the body and also expressing inside out, you know, based on what pops through. So, but that's a piece of what's going on in the inside is reflected on the outside. This is part of being human. And it isn't about strictly following a role that you feel you must play, or else there's some consequence to be paid, because the consequence is becoming so concrete that nobody even bothers to ask you if they know. Let's say an example is, they know that you're always somebody that you're gonna stay home on Sundays because of some reason, you know, and so they don't even ask you to go and do anything after a while because you just said no every time. And something really fun and rewarding can come up And you actually think twice when somebody asks you, like, you want to come do this with us? And you actually think about it, but then that roll kicks in, the concrete takes place. And you're like, no, because I don't do anything on Sundays because of blah, blah, blah. So, you know, there's no ability to flow with, maybe you're feeling really adventurous and you want to have a change of setting, and there's no breathability like the human skin. We gain weight, we lose weight, our skin is with us the whole way. It's my best analogy for this card is, you know, to always, you know, people who just want to constantly go into tanning beds all the time because it's got to look like this. The package has got to look like this. And the authenticity is what really means the most in terms of human interaction, because people just see the real you. They're not seeing a packaged version. Okay? So, I mean, this is Scorpio energy. It calls it like it is, and it's always going to call ourselves on our own bullshit. It's why I love Scorpio energy. Because it's real. If nothing else, it's real. Okay. Next up is Healing with the Fairies. This is the back of the card. The magic of nature. Oh my God. So with this, because remember, sorry, I'm being very human here. My allergies are so kicked up today. Remember our symbol. A calm lake bathed in moonlight. That's the energy of this full moon we've just had. And Scorpio wants to open up this source. What I feel with this is just like a child who you watch for the very first time blowing bubbles. There is a wonder and an awe in their eyes. You can literally, their eyeballs are so big that you can actually see the reflection of those bubbles that they blow into the wind, and that beautiful sort of rainbow hue that appears in the bubble. And this is what wants to open up. It is so, there's such a lightness I feel here. And just sometimes, even though I've described Scorpio for you in the intro, at least my perspective, okay? And there's no doubt, intensity would be the first word I would use for Scorpio. But there can also be an intensity towards being able to believe in the magic of your life. To be able, because remember, you can't separate Scorpio from the element of water. And water rules intuition and just feeling. Vibration. These are all very intangible kinds of things that water rules over. We're not talking about the earth element here of balancing the checkbook and cleaning the closets and doing the dishes, mowing the lawn. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We're talking about an inner knowing, an inner vibration. And what I really feel with this magic of nature, it's the lightness, like the sprite energy, which is an elemental, a lightness to life that wants to break through for you with this full moon. How can you invite in more lightness? And by that, I'm literally meaning like lightness in your step, a pep in your step, of not needing to walk really, because there's a part of Scorpio that can be really firm-footed. Bam, bam, bam. Make itself known and like, I'm here to set the record straight. And that is a part of Scorpio energy, but it's not all of it. And again, we got to tune this reading. For those of you that chose this card, what I'm feeling, it's almost like you're walking on tiptoe from an energy perspective. Not that you're afraid. It's more just that I can be light about life. That I can still have the intensity that wants to break through with this full moon. But it's in order, again, the goal of this full moon is about revealing the calm lake bathed in moonlight that is within you. The full moon illumines that which is looking to come up and out, to be released out. It's spent enough time in here, it's ready to come out and be seen. And I think you are a magical being, that if you chose this card, I don't know any other way to put it. You can call me woo-woo if you want. I am pretty woo-woo. I'm also a very grounded person. But this is pure magic energy. And it is believing that you are more than the events that are happening around you. You are more than those damn dirt devils that are spinning around this planet like out of control. The thing with the fairy energy or the elementals in general, and animals are in this category too, but I definitely pick up on for you the like the sprite energy, and sprites are often by the water. Maybe that's why I'm picking up on it, because I'm right here next to the river. But again, their energy just kind of skips along the water. I think about those water skater bugs that you sometimes see skating on the water. It's that same sort of energy. It's a lightness. And so ask yourself, is there something inside myself that is ready to break open into this lighter way of being, into seeing the world? You can still have intensity, don't get me wrong there, because the intensity can be used to bring clarity and focus, but there can be a lightness, meaning you don't spend too much time on any one subject. You like those skater little guys on the water, you just kind of skip along, and you don't get your feet into concrete. The first card mentioned concrete too, and I'm feeling it again for this one. I think Scorpio for sure wants to break you out of any concrete ways of being that you may have, but this magical energy is calling your name. And again, the goal is bringing a sense of calm to your life. So if your life is feeling extra topsy-turvy, if you're feeling like you're having to be that really heavy-footed version of Scorpio, consider what that lighter approach might be. What if you all of a sudden backed off anything that you've been engaging in that is just, it feels like it's tearing you down. That's the image I'm getting. And it's really wearing your legs out, because this boom, boom, heavy-footedness, like, this is how I feel about this. It feels very just, there's a lot of outward energy. And again, you're looking to cultivate that natural calm that is inside you. You're looking to cultivate that and bring that out for people to see. And that's the energy of the magical. And it is also a very strong portion of what the elementals are all about, just like animals in our lives. And to me, horses are the most amazing animals at doing this. But I know people feel it with their cats, dogs, and other animals too, is a sense of calm. They bring calm because they get you out of your head. They get you out of whatever you're fixated upon and running around like a little storm in a teacup. It just gets us out of ourselves. And this is natural for you to embody that energy of the elementals, of being able to live this very light life. And I would say it takes practice. It's in the moment of when you want to have an outburst about something, or you want to get on your high horse about something, which we all do. Absolutely be included in this. But it's taking a step back in those moments and saying, so what would the sprite do in this case? You know, it's being light about it and seeing that the other party who's involved, or whatever it may be, there must be some other person or corporation or whatever, a way of thinking involved, to understand that they have just as strong of a viewpoint as you do. And who's to say that orange is a better color than green? You know, like it's all perception at the end of the day. And so you're never really going to convince them in the end. You know, they have to come to it themselves. And this is true inside yourself too. As if you have something you keep revisiting and you're being heavy-footed about it with yourself, to consider taking that lighter approach and just skipping along through it. And I really feel just a backing off energy. And understand that when you put your energy towards something, you're communicating about it, you're taking action on it. If it's something that you're really wound up about, and just keep remembering that very heavy-footed, like seeing yourself being heavy-footed in your own life, that when that happens, if you were to hear a big man stomping down your hallway with the heavy feet, that puts your defenses up. And that's what it does energetically with other people and even inside yourself. And so backing off a little bit and getting light with it and trying to see some other points of view and understanding that we all have a right to our points of view. It's just the way it is to be human. And everybody is individual. And so your job is you. And, you know, do you want to be living an existence where your energy could be causing people to put up their dukes energetically, the big man stomping down your hallway, you know? Or is it inviting and let's have the conversations together. Let me see the world through your eyes, and I'll show you what the world looks like through my eyes. That's when the magic happens, because you're making room for both views to be equally valid. Okay? All right, the third card is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So I've got the book here because I like their readings, their descriptions as well. And this is card number 27, the Hunter. All right, the Hunter. So let's pull this up, what the card is, and I'll read this to you. And as I read, just see what pops out at you, because there's something in here. If you chose this card, there's something in here for you. The essence of this card is, before the dawn of agriculture, we hunted in the forest to feed our kin. The hunter never takes more than what the village needs to survive, often taking only one creature, the good kill. He is a master tracker who knows which path to follow to find success. The invitation is, rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you are in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker. Find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. The medicine is, don't settle for the roadkill. It could be poison. Be careful that you do not become the prey of your desires and fantasies. Remember to want more than you need, so you are not guided by unbridled ambition. It is okay to come home empty-handed. So there were a couple of things as I was reading this that popped out to me as a reader of the energy here. One was becoming the map maker, finding your own internal compass and using all your senses, including the equipment that makes you human. And by that I mean your brain. I've heard so much in the spiritual circles about getting rid of your ego. You know, it's standard equipment. Like this is something we have that helps to keep us safe. Now, the ego sometimes, actually often, can take over, can totally sit in the driver's seat and just like obliterate any kind of other divine inspiration or other pathways that might be new and scary, but they could turn out better for us if we just took the chance. This is sort of the battle that inspiration and ego have. They kind of take turns, and it depends on where we're at as a conductor of those energies. You are the grand conductor. In this, it calls you a map maker. I view those as the same. There's an energy there that you are able to select, how much room you give all your senses. But when it says senses, yes, it's the human sensory system. It is your common sense, which is the ego. That's the ego structure in our brain. And the ego relies on especially past experiences, but also things we've been taught over time to keep us safe. And so it can only rely on what we've learned and what we know from the past. But the forward momentum is where inspiration is. And it wants to lead us into things that will expand us as people, as humans. And so you are at a big control board. This is the image I'm being shown. And you get to choose how you use those dials, there will be times when you really do want to rely on your human sensory system, and then other times where you want to dial up what are called the clairs. Those are the sixth sense, so to speak. It's just the knowing about something, or having a clairaudient vision, or being told something. Clairaudience, clairvoyance is having the vision. Claircognizance is the knowing. These are parts of us that it's tough to explain, but I know you have had those experiences, where you just kind of know, or you feel that something is right for you. It's kind of a gut feeling. That's all of those sixth sense sort of things, and you are the keeper of those dials. Overall, these messages, Scorpio is breaking you out of this eggshell, a protective place, I think. Part of being the hunter is you don't even know what the options are out there that can feed your soul unless you're brave enough to take the step to explore for them. How do you know that you like basket weaving unless you take the courageous step of signing up for a basket weaving class, or watching a video and getting the supplies and trying it out? And maybe you have a amazing success on your first go, or maybe it's a bit of a mess. It doesn't matter. You have taken the step of the exploration. And more than the word hunter that I get with this card, I'm getting more explorer kind of energy that is being. And again, remember, the goal is the Sabian symbol of a calm lake bathed in moonlight. This is a sense of this calmness and it's a calmness. Water represents emotions, but also intuition, of it being calm enough that you can have access to that intuitive nature of who you are, which the Scorpio energy is expert at doing. Can pick up on the vibe of anything or anyone that it meets, and using that to your advantage along with your human senses and the ego, including the ego. But you have to take that courageous step forward. That's what I feel. I think it's breaking you out in order to get this sense of calm, but also clarity from inside yourself. Because I feel like, with the medicine, it's like I'm out there, I'm doing, I'm doing what I think I should be, and there's the term think, what I think I should be. A lot of these messages have to do with playing roles, and we think that we should be doing X because that's what we've always done. But this is a real strong exploration message for you of how much is to be gained when you break out of that. And it isn't like in terms of work, it's not just about, okay, I got to find the next step up on the ladder and I got to try to make this work because I need the title and more money and more responsibility and the company card and the company car and all these benefits. And we get in that's just an example that isn't necessarily true for everybody, but it's a societal thing. That's what we get into this rat wheel of that. Like, I have to keep expanding and it's always got to be better. But with that comes a heck of a lot more responsibility, and you find yourself actually getting spread thinner and thinner and thinner the higher up you go on that ladder, so to speak. And I'm feeling like this is energy that wants to break from that. It's not taking more than you need. That was the medicine message. Remember to not want more than you need. You're just, so that it's all about unbridled ambition. It's just, okay, well, I've done this, so now I got to do this, and I'm going to one-up that, and I'm going to keep it, and meanwhile, you're just depleting yourself. It's really taking each step to discover what is it that is most fulfilling for me at this time. And that's a courageous act within itself, because you might have times where you need to stand still, where you need to sit down and take a break energetically, where it isn't about just climbing the ladder and pushing yourself, that sometimes it's about having time for reflection and time to even figure out, where am I at? What is it that I need? Never mind how much do I need, what is it that I need, And I'm really honoring you for this courage that wants to come forward to invite in more exploration. Understand that you are the one at the control board, or you can look at it as you're the map maker. You get to determine that by your own inner compass and what feels the best to you, what really fills you up. And understand over a lifetime, it changes. I've said more than once in these messages, change is the only thing that we can count on. It is the only thing that is constant on this planet. And that includes you personally, in what your goals and dreams and desires are, as well as, how you get there, what that looks like. That it isn't just continuing the same path and just making it better and better and better as you go. There sometimes are breather moments, and those are just as fulfilling as when you're in a high achievement mode, because you don't even know what that does to your energy when you take a breather, when you get your bearings, and when you decide what it is that I really want, what fills me up, and can I just meet my needs, my direct needs at this moment, and then just invite in whatever is in my best and highest good to come along the path, These are people, don't forget, Scorpio has strong spiritual energy. The water element is the carrier of intuition, and that's the spiritual energy. So these people, this is a part of you that does walk a spiritual path, whether you see that or name it as that or not. We're all walking a spiritual path, and over time, it just takes a lot of courage to surrender and to have faith in whatever is in the best and highest good to be what comes forward. That takes a lot of courage, and I'm with you. Can be a scary prospect, but I feel like the change in the energy is so worth it for you. And this isn't something extreme like, oh, I just need to quit my job. You still need to take care of your needs. That's what this message was getting across. The hunter still needs to bring something back for the tribe, but it doesn't have to be, a Las Vegas buffet. It can be a boar, for instance, and that's what the tribe eats. It's meeting your needs while you shift your energy and get your own points of focus that matter to you as the map maker or the one at the little control panel. You get to decide that. And I'm just saying that taking a break does such tremendous things for your energy to help you get clear and to bring forward what that Sabian symbol from this full moon was about. The calm waters bathed in moonlight. Can't you just see it? A calm lake bathed in moonlight. It's so peaceful. It's so serene. It isn't about striving and gripping and clawing and I gotta be better. I gotta push myself. Sometimes we just need to break from that. We need to give ourselves a break. And you'll be amazed at what comes forward in the ways of clarity for direction for yourself that makes you feel calmer and more at peace inside yourself. There we are, everybody. Let's use this Scorpio energy. I again purposely did this after the full moon because, okay, we got the intense energy, but now let's use it and break through the bullshit, which is what Scorpio is so good at and why I love it. It doesn't put up with the bullshit, whether it's inside of ourselves or other people. It doesn't matter. It seeks truth. Scorpio truth. Bye-bye for now.